Hey Stefan, nice trick with this random choosing of the time and clicking to these columns instead of bars. So yeah, I will take it into consideration for my future as well on how to pick random periods. So I would recommend to start with more standard analysis before backtesting session. So what I did right now is went to the same period as you. And by the way, looking a bit in the future, I also picked this zone first. But what I would recommend is starting with higher time frame. And on higher time frame, we have this pretty weird looking market. Yeah, maybe a log chart will help a bit better. And so what we have is, of course, clearly bullish market with these breaks. With these breaks to the bullish side, mitigation of these zones, creation of some inside structure, creation of accumulation, creating some inside structure, break to the upside, reaccumulating, break into the upside, break into the upside. And right now on 3 months, we are in this bullish range, mitigated this zone. We still have some unmitigated parts left below, but overall, because of this inside structure clear shift, and this is a shift of structure on 1 month as well, we are pretty bullish from higher time frames. But as well, what we have here is a break of inside structure, so you can put it like this, and some space to move down for deeper mitigation if it wants to. So based on how low we will go on the time frames, we can use this bias to the both sides and just find confirmations on lower time frames. If this was, for instance, an only time frame to trade, then of course this zone will be a nice zone just to wait and trade from there. And this is what we have on monthly, so the same impulse, inside structure creation, accumulation, and then this nice zone to tap in the future. Or if the market wants to go bullish straight from there, then these highs are main targets from the monthly. On the weekly, we see the same impulse. We see the same impulse, but it is a structural break. So what we can do, we can maybe refine the zone to this one, to a smaller one, something like that. And we can say that the break happened here. And now we started some rangy price action, just a big box. And it could be either first idea reaccumulation before moving higher, or like this, or maybe even moving higher like this. But if we take these 3 main scenarios, what we can say is that the inside structure is now currently moving bearish, and so this option is not confirmed in the clearest way, and these options are possibly in the move on the daily. And on the daily, what we have is, by the way, a huge structural shift to the upside with enormous amount of inside structure that is now, so again, coming from here, bearish from here, then redistribution here, and just creation of these bearish ranges. So right now on the daily, main scenarios are this or redistribution and then goes lower. And for bullishness, what I would like to see, for example, is a break, and maybe a break once again, or a break to the bearish side and then a break to the bullish side. But right now it's quite bearish, and we have this structural shift and this one, and basically that's it. So we have the origin of the move, the root of the move is coming from here for this move, mitigated in this area, so we can use this zone or some higher zones. And what's interesting is that on the daily, after this break, we had redistribution here, then break to the downside, so no chain there, and then we had a chain, chain, and no chain right now. So yes, it's possible to expect some move to the upside. And for me, the zone I would expect, of course, is this one first, and then this one possibly, yes, but maybe even something higher. So working with these two ranges to go to the downside. So here is a tap into the zone that you have on your video. What I would do in this situation is I would already go to my lower time frames and see if I have some confirmations. And in this case, basically you don't have any confirmation. You see, it's just breaking up and up and up. So the same like you have on your video. So this specific zone I don't quite like because it's mitigated, you see. So if you have this zone, what you should do is, and at this time you already need to go to lower time frames. So if you have this zone failed, now you have this zone. Basically this zone as is mitigated by this one, so you don't have an imbalance left. What you have here is this one, weak, unmitigated, you see, or you have something here, or you can go to lower time frames and see that, for instance, here is a nice refinement from the higher zones. However, this one is even better because the break went from here, and yeah, but it seems like the price just took out this one. And looking at this as the last unmitigated portion, it was mitigated, and now this is your protected high on the daily. So at this time, because the zone is so small, you can decide either to enter right now, because like even if the price will do this, probably your stop loss will be basically the same. So if you want to have an early entry, you can enter there on this confirmation just straight from the zone, or wait for a break of structure on lower time frames and just take a usual confirmation. So let's look what will happen. Let's wait for a break of structure. Okay, so this is technically a break of structure here. And we have, what we have here is of course a low quality break. So it's for you to decide if you want to take, if you are okay with taking average quality setup. So why is average quality? First of all, it's still inside the zone, so it still can do this. So the bearish momentum didn't start yet. The break itself is quite weak. It's just weaky, and the closure is not confident. Plus, we're still pretty bullish overall from this time frame, and maybe it could be just a reaccumulation before moving even higher. But let's see. So if we have, for example, 2 or 3 losses from one zone, so this is our zone, and we can give ourselves 2 losses in a zone, then, or let's say 3, then we have a tap. And basically, if we break this candle, we then can enter and protect ourselves here. So let's see what happens. So at this point, you can decide either you want to go break even, or you can play with the price. In real time, I would move my stop loss to this point. So stop is now here, just to make it like 0.5 stop loss in case the price wants to take me out, and then I will look for re-entry if the bearish momentum continues. Okay, so at this point I'm definitely break even already. So if the price wants to continue, it has the space and so on. So this is a break even now. Okay, and this break even. And now let me switch to, okay, let me finish with this range myself. And what we have here is this break, then a break, and two breaks. Rebreak once to the upside, so this should be a redistribution. If it wants to go down, we have a break even, so we are good to go. If the price will go down from here, I'm okay to enter with a sell stop. So if the price will go up, I will not take a trade. If it will go down straight from here, this will be my trade. Okay, so basically it's a loser right now, instant loser, and let's play a price more. So now we are in this bullish range, waiting for either invalidation of daily or shift below this low. So you see, this is a protected low. Okay, if we shift bearish from here, I'm okay with taking bearishness. If we go bullish, then I will need to go to daily and see what's happening. Oh, forgot to check my timing. Yeah, and so this one is looking like a liquidity grab, or we can call it absorption, just from daily. So let me check daily. Yeah, we just broke up, mitigated something there, starting to go down. So at this place, I'm okay with taking entries from here, basically. And so this one will be the last. Either it breaks impulsively down or gives us an entry there. Another option, okay, one more. Yeah, so possible to follow this one. This one is mitigated. Or now this one or that one to the upside. So we can, if the price will go down, we can take this entry, or if it will rebreak back up again, 3 losses for these two zones are possible. But what we have on daily, so yeah, on daily we are quite overextended. Okay, let's just take a couple of trades from here. So if we go down, this will be the entry. Okay, enter there. Stop loss to 0.5 here. At this point, you either go break even or you just decide to let it run. So for me, I will just close it break even here and then decide if I want to re-enter from this new zone. And basically it's quite overextended structurally, I think. Yeah, so we have 6 consecutive shifts. Well, that is still okay to follow this zone and try to enter. However, for me, and because we have this huge move on daily, that's a bit too late to enter. So what I will do is just close this at break even and then wait for a reshift to the bullish side and continue from there. Now let me switch to your video. So not sure why you are telling that this is a protected low on daily. So you are seeing it as inside structure or something like that. The structural points on daily are this one as protected high, and this is as your liquidity target, and that's all. Everything here is inside structure. And so you see, so I already showed all this price action here, but while the price is in your zone, it's okay to switch to your lower time frames and start to look for entries. So don't forget that this zone was still a part of these two impulses, and what we had there is one break to the zone. So when the price came here, you should have been on lower time frames already at this point. And by the way, let me check if I had, so you see, me personally, I had a break even, a loser, and a break even, but like the analysis was correct, but just didn't have my position. And basically on 4 hours I didn't have, for example, I don't know if you will switch to 1 hour or something, but from 4 hours perspective we just had, by the way, we had this entry here, but it was pretty bullish at the time, and then with this break just didn't manage to find anything. Right now I see maybe something we had from these hidden zones, but probably better entries would be on 1 hour. So let's just check the wave. So this distribution, just so nothing here for me, at least in the format that we're testing now, so a classical format of entry. This should be an entry, of course, so we have a break and some hidden zones. This one was not taken all the way to the highs, and this one was a break even. So yeah, basically because of how the price moved, like really impulsively, it was hard to have this classical confirmation. What you should be doing there is just follow the impulse with inside structure on 1 hour, and for instance with a break on 1 hour, and then the price starts a pullback, maybe just mitigated some hidden zones, and then you try to take your entry, because as you can see from these observations, the price on silver just does not tend to go all the way up to the zones and just tends to impulsively move down and down. But I just want to pay your attention that when you are in the zones, you better go to lower time frames already. So technically this could be a zone, but it's just really small. It's just really low in the range. And yes, it's possible, and maybe it even will play out, but just pay attention how small. So there is no volume here. And what I would recommend doing if you want to have the zones here, then start with something here. So you have this unmitigated part, this up move before this down move. And what I would recommend secondly is not looking at the zones from the impulse. So yes, maybe on lower time frames there is something there, but on this time frame pay attention to the big zone itself first, then see some refinements like this, or go inside the lower time frames there and work from there. But if you will be taking these zones into account, so this is just a random zone, it's not tied to these structural pullbacks. Yes, this zone is much cleaner. The break is not the best, but, and so if you are looking for this zone or refinement, this should be an entry already for you. However, the impulse itself is not clear, at least for me. Yeah, you see, so if you are looking at this zone, then like technically maybe you need to go to 1 hour and enter with the break, or even with the on the basis of a tap here. Yes, this zone that you choose again, you see it's mitigated. So yes, this up move, but the price went up, down, and then up for mitigation. So the last unmitigated part for this range would be this zone, this hidden zone. You see up move before the down move. So overall, it's not the clear situation. It's a bit far to down, but yeah, as a possibility, it could be used. Now talking about 1 hour, so this is the same place. I would recommend to start always with the root of the move. This way you will be more tied to the structure, because again, this zone is just a pretty random place. The price just went through up and down. But if you would start with the root of the move, you will see that this is the main zone. So this is the main move when the price started up move before the down move. And then you will see that it's mitigated by this, and you can refine to this part on 1 hour. And then it's even, I think, maybe got a mitigation here, and so this could be an entry. However, it's a bit to the downside, so let's see how it will develop. And yeah, basically you didn't have to wait for this break, because the break happened already there. Again, for this part, again, just start with the root of the move. So you have a break, yes, definitely, like this. And then this is your root of the move. So this is a zone. You see it's mitigated, so you can choose the last unmitigated portion. But here what you did is just took some random part of the root of the move. By the way, not actually, because it's unmitigated, but what I would recommend is taking this to the, like spreading it, so you can see clearly the moves. Sell stop. And of course at this point, so yeah, management could be discussed a lot, but at the very basic level, what I would recommend is after the first push in your direction, maybe move your stop loss a bit lower, or even to break even at this point. Because if the price wants to continue, it will. However, for break even now, this is a break, and this is structural level just on the level of your entry. So yeah, it's not like really protected, but at this point, this should definitely be a break-even trade, or at least 0.5 stop loss. So not a full loser, definitely. Because when the price is here, it tends just to move even lower for new breaks, but I think it's not the case. Yeah, so it should definitely, as I said, this trade should never be a stop loss, a full stop loss. Basically, it's a break-even trade. These moves, you said you're nervous. Yeah, that's normal, of course, because the price is moving against you. So, but what you need to understand, remember how the price moves. It's moving like this. So maybe you have an entry here, then it goes down. And now at this point, you expect these moves to happen, and you even want them to happen, because yes, in this situation, the price needed to go even higher. But overall, these moves are good because they are redistributions. So the price will never move straight. That's a wrong expectation. They never move like this. They need to have some redistributions, and then when they have it, they will move even lower to your target. So you need these moves to happen. The other thing is that, of course, sometimes, or even pretty often, the price will go and take you out before moving lower. But in this case, you will need to either consider a new entry, or the price will just not let you out, because after this, it could easily continue to the downside. It's just at this specific trade, it didn't work out, but this should be a break-even trade after this. Oh, and now I see you are looking again for a random entry. What I would recommend is like picking one place and then just backtesting from there, so you can like work with the biases more. So for example, when you were here, then just continue with the same place, so you have all the space to move, and just try to trade this market accordingly. Okay, but that's fine, if you want to do them random every time, that's fine as well. But basically what I recommend is just random place and then backtest up to the recent time. And so this is the time of your second trade, and you mentioned you it's hard to find a bias for you, but you didn't look at your other time frames, and of course it would help. However, sometimes, yes, it's hard to find a bias. For me, What I have here on weekly is just that break that we discussed before in the previous trade, and we have this boxy price action, which is like 50-50. It can do this, it can do this, it can just continue to do it. And on this entry, on this time frame alone, it's hard to tell what's really happening with the price. Then we can go on daily and just see again this huge bullish move, so overall bullish market, but then it starts to be bearish on the basis of inside structure. And currently we had this inside structure shifts to the upside, so just upside, some reaccumulation, upside, upside, and again reaccumulation, upside. And this, if we see this as more in isolation, then we should be basically saying that this is a reaccumulation of overall bullish move, looking to take weekly highs. So a bit more bullish at this time than bearish. And here we already see some bullish move, some bullish price action happening on the basis of inside structure, supported by overall weekly bullishness. So this is one way to interpret the bias of this market. However, overall, specifically this market is just 50-50. It's just unclear on these higher time frames, and that's why we need to go even lower. So again, even if you are like really confused, at least try to mark up your main moves, your main structures, and then your reaccumulations, redistribution. So we are bearish from this, and again, you see, we are like in this bearish move right now. Yes, it's all inside structure because the daily was just overextended. We have this origin of the move, we have these unmitigated refinements, and what we can do is go to 1 hour. I think 1 hour is your lowest time frame, yes, and we already can start to look for the trade. So for the best entries on 1 hour, we want the price to do something like this, to stay here for some distribution, maybe even we would like to see some liquidations, and then we enter either here or after some redistributions a bit lower, overall targeting these lows. So now we have this idea. And basically, why I don't want to be bullish straight from here, because we are facing this zone on daily. But for some people, they could already be bullish from just from looking from this 1 hour zone. So we are just, this is basically a bullish market. Bullish pushes, reaccumulation, again bullish pushes, some reaccumulation, and maybe someone will go from 4 hours there for loans. But I don't want to do it because we are bearish, still bearish from this daily. So let's see what's happened, what will happen. I would like to see this break. So I basically have technically it from here, but I don't like it, it's just too shallow. Okay, so this could be that redistribution I mentioned, or it can push even higher. Okay, still in this range. Don't want to be bullish. I want to confirm my bearish idea. Yes, you will be wrong sometimes, but with the overall direction. Okay, so basically I have this break on 1 hour. And it's looking pretty clear. And we are still inside this bearish move on daily. So again, yes, we are overall bullish. We just absorbed this one, but currently we are bearish from this move on daily. So if we want to confirm some bearishness, this could be a place to do it. If the market will break like confidently bullish from here, then I will reconsider what I have. But let's see. And from 2 days, as you can see, so no, from 2 days we adjust. So this is basically from daily, from inside structure on higher time frames. So let's see if we have something on 1 hour. We already had a pullback, which never reached. It reached just to these bigger zones. Okay, we have a tap. I don't like the size of the zone. It will require me to stop either here, to have a stop loss either above this one or above the zone, which is not optimal. I would like to have smaller stop losses. Okay, so we basically, if we break the zone with the next candle, which looks like we will, I will cancel this one. But right now we are not breaking it, just grabbing some liquidity. If we will go below, so either enter from here or see what will happen. Yeah, so just break up and this idea is cancelled for me. And let me check my daily. So daily is breaking up right now. And so this zone is cancelled for me. We have a pretty clear break on daily, on 12 hours, and we have this unmitigated zone. So technically, we are okay to follow now this bullish idea that we have. So we are overall pretty unclear, but overall we suppose that we want to go and attack these highs. So let's see if we will have some confirmations. And by the way, we still are pretty bullish, you see from this. Okay, so this is a confident break. And let's go to 1 hour. So what we have here is a break, tap into the zone, and basically I would like to see maybe deeper action into this zone. With confirmations. Okay, I missed this range. So the entry was possible from this inside structure, but let's see what will happen next. Okay, new range. So new range. Don't like this part, but it is what it is. We have this bigger zone. Let's see if we have some. We could have some refinements here on 1 hour. So overall looking bullish. However, now I don't like these relatively structural overextended moves. So it seems like we want to have at least some reaccumulation. But for the sake of just checking this price action, and by the way, if you are surprised by what I'm doing, I'm just trying to quickly backtest the periods of time you were looking at and then commenting on what you do, just to show you an alternative point of view on how this could be interpreted and what you could be doing. So we are right now bullish from this zone, and I want to see a tap and then confirmation. Okay, bullish again. So bullish from this zone still, and everything here is mitigated. So we either want to push from this zone right now, and that is what we are doing, or we can have some unmitigated parts here. So basically because of this is all mitigated and acting like a lower time frame reaccumulation. So right now the price, either it will push up from this zone, or if it will come back here, you need to ask yourself what are the reasons to come back into mitigated zones. So then it should tap here into this unmitigated zone. Maybe we'll find some confirmations there. So let's see. Let's see if we will have, yeah, basically this should be an entry from 1 hour, but I missed it. So I'm okay with using this inside structure and tap and go from there. Okay, we have a tap, but don't like how big this candle is. Okay, if we go above this, I'm fine with taking this trade and just protecting myself here. Okay, no tap yet. basically I don't know. If I go tap, then this is a loser. If I didn't go to tap, then this is just cancel of an order. And it seems like we will just break this one. Okay, starting to break this one, but because of overall bullishness, I don't want to short here, and my daily is pretty bullish. We have mitigation of this zone, and try and looking for these highs, basically to get taken out. Let's see if we will find confirmation here. So this zone is mitigated. If price will go here, we'll look at this zone inside this classical pattern. Okay, just instant break of a zone, so no confirmation. So this idea is cancelled. And let me check the daily. Okay, and now the daily became bearish with this origin of the move, with this origin of the move that was mitigated by this. So on a fractal basis, we can say that this zone mitigated this bigger zone, and then what we have is we can consider this as a reaccumulation before moving higher, or we can say that this could be a start of a deeper move to mitigate these zones that we discussed previously, because we have these unmitigated zones from monthly. And now from these two scenarios, so this is 1 and this is 2, we need to go lower and find what lower time frames are telling us. So if they want to go up or down. So let's go to 4 hours and see what we have. So from previous trade, we already remember that this pair tend just to move impulsively. So if it moves, then it just mitigates some zones in proximity to it and goes from there. Basically, structurally, what we have here is a break of this range, and now we are in this move. We are in this move from this unmitigated pretty clear zone, which is quite high, and then this zone, which is hidden one. This one is basically the same I showed you on daily. And what's interesting about this zone is that yes, the move came from here, but this zone broke and mitigated the overall zone. So I'm happy to look for confirmations on 1 hour either here or here, and 3 losers for 1 working range is quite enough. Here is so this unmitigated part, everything mitigated here, so this would be a real nice zone, but basically this one as a part of this hidden one, or this one. Let's see what the price will do. Okay, created one more break on 1 hour. Let me check 2 hours. Okay, and the break on 4 hours with this zone, which was mitigated, and we can refine it to unmitigated part, or just look on 1 hour that this is unmitigated part. So basically happy to take this zone as a part of a 4 hours impulse. If we will have a tap. Okay, we have a tap, and now basically this is an entry. However, I missed it. So now I need to decide either to go from here or wait until a small pullback happens and then enter from there. So for the sake of backtesting, I'm just entering from here, protecting myself. And again, while you are doing it, you need to have some kind of a plan. So if the price will go up I'm still happy happy to take it from there, or will manage my trade lower. So let's see what happens. So this is an entry from the market. Okay, if we move a bit lower, stop loss will be moved to 0.5 approximately. Yeah, so when the price starts this kind of price action, it usually means, by the way, the session is bad, didn't check it, but it's basically before the Asian range. So probably because of this is the Asian range, we have still unmitigated parts here, and here I would expect, even if it will go lower, I would expect this, okay? The liquidation of this Asian range, but let's see what will happen now. Okay, we have some move to the downside. Basically at this point, because we are breaking these lows, okay, let's break at least something. So took out some Asian liquidity. Okay, so this is a loser. Yeah, it should be a loser basically. So that's a loser. And we are tapping into this zone from daily I discussed before, with approaching it bullishly on 1 hour. And what I want from here is a break to the downside from on 1 hour, and then yes, so I have my break from a higher zone that we discussed. So we took out this Asian range, and let's see what will happen here. So we have the root of the move, and it's not mitigated, so I'm happy to take basically anything that taps there. Okay, we have a tap. So this zone is real huge for me, so I will now need to decide, either let the price go to these zones or just enter with confirmations and protect myself lower. So for the sake of backtesting, I will probably just enter. So the session is okay, so enter if the price will go lower, and protect myself basically maybe above these hidden S&Ds, or like the part of the bigger zone. Okay, this is a tap. Okay, this is a tap and this is a move, so stop loss moves here to 0.5. At this point, it will be a break-even for me. So yeah, this is a break-even trade, and I think at this point I will go and switch to see what you are doing there. But basically, let's just place the price from here. Maybe, okay, maybe I will take one more trade to take the price to these lows, okay? So we have a break even here, just this range price action. So this is New York session started. Okay, this is nice, looking for some redistributions there. Okay, some bearishness started, and from this range I'm okay with going from here or from higher zones, so just looking at this range. Yeah, let's try to do it. Okay, new range created. Still okay with following it. And a new range created. So this is London session. Oh no, it's just inside structure here. Don't like it's everything is mitigated here. Okay, you're looking for some redistributions to the upside. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so redistribution, move down. Oops. Zone, and basically looking for a tap. Okay, we have a tap, and basically either go from here or let the price. Okay, so this is Asian. At least we need to wait for all over. Okay, this is London, and now, so still okay with using these highs. So we have maybe something from 2 hours, maybe something from 4 hours, something like that. So I'm sure that this is structural move, and this is some unmitigated portions from it. So again, a standard plan for this is either this one, redistribution into these zones, or just going straight down from here. Again, I'm okay with taking some losers here, so we'll just place a sell stop order and we'll look for these lows as my target. So let's see if I will get a tap. So no tap there. So because of this overextended range, I'm quite okay with entering with this inside structure flows if I will have something clear. Okay, so this is down move, redistribution from this inside structure perspective. So on daily we have this and this, and it's possible to look and we already mitigated the zone, so just looking for excuses to go to the short side. Yeah, so perfectly we are breaking even higher and creating this down move and waiting for this step or inside structure build. Okay, just moving down from here, and I'm fine with taking trades from this inside structure or this one, or this structural zone. So both are good. Okay, this is London. Okay, I have my tab here. Again, you see what pattern we have here. Down move, redistribution. Again, absolutely fine to try to short from here or from this higher zone. On 4 hours, we have this as a really small random zone and these structural zones. So yeah, I'm okay with all this Asia. Okay, let's wait until, so this is no position. Let's wait until at least London starts. Okay, any pullback into here, we'll be glad to take it. Okay, and basically if we go below this one with this protection, quite okay to short it. Okay, this step from here, from this inside structure zone, from this redistribution, if you go below, okay, this point stop loss moves to 0.5. At this point moves to break even. Okay, and this one more break even trade. And now, yeah, so really hard to catch this silver. Overall, like moving with the analysis, but just maybe was a bit in a hurry and didn't see anything from here, and it just tends to range a bit, then build maybe this, build a bit of its structure and do this. So really hard to find some decent pullbacks like we have on Forex, but we just need to study this silver a bit more. So let's see what you had there.
First time break. I want to see 2 seconds break before I think about any trade.
Yeah, so I was trying to short all this price action on lower time frames, and you basically clicked everything on daily. That's fine, completely fine. I like this shift, I like this zone, and this is where I stopped, and this is probably where you will try to find your short, I think. Yeah, so this zone already could be a zone for a short, so you tapped into a daily zone, started to shift bearish. Don't like this impulse overall, but okay to take some shorts from there. Yeah, nice. So you pick this zone. As for either it's a tap or no, so if you take from this candle, then basically no, with a spread maybe. But if you take the whole root of the move, you see it's going a bit lower, and it's also unmitigated. So from this down candle to this, then I think it's a mitigation, and so this should be an entry already. Let's see how it develops. Yeah, so at this point, so you see, like because of these few pips, it would be okay to take it. So at this point, this trade should be at either stop loss to 0.5 or to even break even. Let's see how it will develop. And now this zone is possible for new entry.
If I had to do this by my own in the past, I would consider this as a tap.
Yeah, definitely that was a tap because of the root of the move. Yeah, but great for following, because in life you will also miss the trades, like being just away or something. So that's, if you miss a trade on backtesting, then you miss a trade. Yes, this zone is fine. So this could already be an entry because of how small the zone is. This could be an entry from 4 hours straight. Yeah, definitely that's a fine trade. It could be even from here and protect you with the zone. Just spread this a bit, so at this point maybe go to 0.5.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Think about stop loss rule, what you mentioned. If I have to go back to the video to see again.
Okay, yeah, so at this point, of course, this should go to break even.
Done with my trades. So I got my 4 up. Let me see what happens next.
So this trade was only for 2 hour, no? Oh yeah, so if you were going for 4 hour, this should be a break even then. Okay, so let's continue testing silver. Pretty weird pair. But based on what we learned, let's try to catch more moves. So this is the time of your third backtesting trade. Still the same weekly range, and daily was in this bearish leg, and then started to shift bullish with this one shift, and now shifted back bearish. So basically what we can say now, that either it's a redistribution from here to continue even lower, And right now this idea is confirmed by the fact that we are in bearish range. So if we assume that the price will go here and then go lower, and then we can find some confirmations to continue this push from here, or of course this could be a part of overall accumulation. And let's not forget that we are moving real bullish from higher time frames, even if we are in this range. And right now we are in lower parts of this range, and we also took out some lows from here, tapped into these imbalances there. So again, because of everything here, it's quite it's definitely not that clear. So right now we are in this bearish range on daily, and that's why until it holds or until the clear bullish structure develops, I'm okay with finding some shorts from these zones. But again, because we are acting from higher time frames, if I will see some clear inside structure, I'm okay with taking some bullish trades, and I can pair it with the fact that we had some inside structure moves on the daily, because yes, this is technically one move, but because of this internal swing, we can say that we have this impulse to the upside and at least some bullishness coming in again. So if we want to confirm this idea, we can just use it from lower time frames. And so we remember that technically we are bearish from this move and moving in bearish structure from 4 hours. And we have recent bearish shift on 4 hours. Don't like this one, but definitely it can do this. Just take out everything here and continue down. And this will be my main idea for the start of this period of time. And if it will shift bullish, I'm okay with following bullishness until some zones there and then just see what happens. But here, let's wait for a tap. Okay, no tap there, and just continue bearish from here, from this zone. So okay with following it. Got a tap on 4 hours. Let's see what we have on 1 hour. So on 1 hour, because of the fact that we are pretty overextended from the 4 hours, like several shifts already, I want to see on 1 hour at least some bearish price action, at least internal structure shifts, internal structure building down. So now if we will go a bit lower like this, I'm basically fine with so we tapped into unmitigated portions on 4 hours. Yes, it's quite risky because of the fact that we have a break on daily, so but we are still looking, if we have this idea of this bearish move, we are still looking basically for these lows. Yes, it's time for some pullback, but if we want to trade, to test these setups, we can start from this inside structure. So now if we will break, so we have this inside structure, we have these unmitigated zones. So basically if we will do this, creating new structural shifts, or even a tap here and some stoppage there, I'm okay with shorting it. Okay, we have a tap, and if we now continue to move down from here, I'm okay with entering and protecting myself here. So if we move a bit lower, because if we will move like really lower, that's not okay for me. I realize that I can use lower time frames, but for you, we are using 1 hour as the lowest time frame. And let's see what happens here. So we have a tap. Okay, we'll still leave it at full size, but basically one more move down, and then I will move to 0.5. Yeah, no closure there. Okay, so now stop loss moves to 0.5. Okay, nice, nice. So this is a winner for 5R. Of course, if the price would stay here, I would move to break even. And now let's continue to follow the price. So let me switch to 4 hours. No break there. Okay, so we have, so at this case you just follow how much your trade run and make it as a data collection. I see this inside shifts on 1 hour, and okay, so what we did here is actually what we are doing is trying to take out these lows and moving in this big bearish wave. And we have a break from here from 1 hour, but we are pretty overextended. So what I will do here, either a tap and a standard entry, but basically what I expect is at least some redistributions. So I want to see breaks to the upside, and from the basis of 4 hours, we have this unmitigated zone, which is not, which is basically a refined part of this inside structure move, or we can say that structural based on the rules, we are still inside this range. At this point we were inside this range, and now we, oh sorry, I thought that this is structural move. So basically this is a structural move from 4 hours. Now I'm okay with taking one loser here on 1 hour if it confirms, and then taking some shorts there to follow the overall move. Okay, so you see no confirmation, and we are tapping into this zone. Let's see if we will have some stoppage and confirmation there. Yeah, we have a tap. And we tapped into this refined unmitigated zone here. Don't like the size of the stop loss, and I have no protection, so waiting for inside structure to develop, at least inside structure. And now at this point we are starting to move up again. I'm keeping in mind that we are pretty overextended right now, especially after these breaks. We didn't hit our target yet from the higher time frames, so we still can move even lower. However, what I don't like about this situation, about shorting from here, is the fact that first of all we are moving structurally with 2 shifts already on 1 hour, and more importantly, as you can see, this part was the last unmitigated part. So now if the price will be here, what is the reason for it to be here? It's everything is mitigated, plus we are overextended structurally. So because of that, I will not enter with this zone. I will wait until some shifts to the downside if I want to confirm my bearish idea. Okay, yeah, and the price you see, and you see how the price is just moving from these zones and starting to become more bullish, so creating this structure. So let me check what we have on 4 hours. So on 4 hours we started this move up, which is pretty clear, not perfect but pretty clear what it can be. So first of all, it can be a redistribution that we expected from this down leg to move even lower to that highly higher time frame targets. So this could be a case. If this is a case, then we want to see some bearishness on 1 hour, and we have a lot of space to move. Then second situation, it could be that this is an accumulation or the move into higher zones from this bearish daily leg. And in this case, what we will need is a move down and then some bullish price action inside structure or structural moves on 1 hour. So basically we are working now with this range, and I'm okay with either taking shorts from here on 1 hour basis, but I'm aware that this is a bullish range on 4 hours, and I will just see what will happen next after we tap into the zone, or if we break to the upside again, then I will be more bullish on this market because of the fact that we basically maybe did already what we want here from these structural daily moves. And yeah, so it's like 50-50 going to 1 hour, and let's see what happens. Okay, so now we are structurally bearish on 1 hour, one structural shift. It's not perfect, and I don't like the fact that you see where it comes from. Everything is mitigated. I don't have anything to pull myself into, so waiting for clearer shifts. Okay, moving to the upside, and you see, so what we did here is basically started a move up, a reaccumulation, and moving up again. So if we will close on a 4 hour basis above, let's see. Yeah, so this close makes all this move. So our idea that this could be a redistribution at this point is invalidated. So you see, we wanted to have some bearish price action, but because of not clear action, price action there, we didn't have a confirmation. And so I'm at this specific point, I'm more bullish on this market, and I want to see bullishness from here, or yeah, basically this is not really clear as well. Maybe check like 6 hours or something like that. Yeah, we have something there on 1 hour and 4 hours. So basically this wave, I see it as a bullish wave. I want some reaccumulations, and I'm happy to be now more bullish even from these zones. Again, because if this was a redistribution, then it should not do this, but instead this and attack new lows. So I don't see a redistribution now. I see it more now as accumulation and more bullishness. Okay, yeah, so this is like basically a first pretty clear shift. Something was here based on inside structure, but I'm okay with taking this to the bullish side. Let's see what we have on 1 hour perspective. So starting to move bullish, real not clear price action. Maybe we will see some reshifts down, but basically from this point, I'm okay to take this price higher into these unmitigated zones. And let me see. Oh, and at this point we already shifted bullish from the daily perspective, so we have a bullish shift, and we have this really nice zone on daily. So until this we can be pretty bullish and look for these scenarios on 4 hours, on 1 hour, and so on. So right now for me the best scenario would be just a reshift back to the bearish side, and then some bullish shifts on 4 hours. But right now happy to take longs from here, from this move, from this zone, or so this. Basically, let's check our theory that when it wants to move, it will move like really fast. So got a tap, and basically let's have one more candle. So if we will go above this candle, I'm happy to take longs from here. Let's go to 1 to 5 because we have a lot of space to move, and happy to take up to 3 losers within this range. Okay, we have a tap. At this point, moving to 0.5 on my stop loss like this. At this point, expecting some pullbacks or even reaccumulations to break even, or just continuations. Yeah, so this move is fine because of the distance we have. So this could be just a reaccumulations on lower time frames, but probably this should be a break even now. Yeah, this is a break even. So what about this range? This range is looking like it's want to fail. Let me check 4 hours. And we have this 4 hours range. So right now, we'll not use this one, even if it will work out. We'll wait for deeper mitigation, and it would be nice because we already have some relative overextension, like 1, 2, 3. So reaccumulation 1. Oh, basically we don't have like 3 or 4, so it can go from here or from there. So let's just see what happens. Okay, so we have this reaccumulation happening, tapping already into some bigger zones here, and I'm okay with taking loans from these bigger zones if the price will go up now, or then move my entry accordingly. So now moving buy stop for this candle. So if we continue moving down, then just cancel this zone. If we snap back right from here, still okay with taking these loans. Okay, so this is quite risky, but because of 4 hours, is basically we are holding this zone on 4 hours. Yes, we can expect reaccumulation on 4 hours as well, but yeah, but okay, I'm okay with taking it. Okay, so we have a tap into a trade, and let's see what happens now. Didn't check my, oh, the session is not optimal. Okay, now we will step soon into Asian range, so probably will be a stop out for this one. Okay, no, we are still holding it. At this point, stop loss moves to 0.5, so after first shifts. At this point, we are okay to move to break even, and what we expect here from price. Price is moving up. Our first expectation should be this, and then move up. And then second expectation should be this. Okay, yeah, moving down. Yeah, moving down into break even stop. So one more break even, reaccumulation happening. The zone on 4 hours is still holding, and it's created these inside structure shifts. Yeah, by the way, technically it's even not inside structure, it's real structure. Because, so let me just clean the chart, because that was the low, that was a break, even a shallow one. So now this is a reshift back to the bullish side, not perfect one, but the zone is pretty clear, and the zone is pretty clear, and I'm okay with taking the trade here. And probably this will be the last one. So yeah, just taking it from this, from market price. So maybe from here. So I don't have a nice point to move for 0.5, but let's say I will move to 0.5, because now if the price wants to continue, it can use this point as a protected one and continue higher. Okay, so this is a stop loss for 0.5. And now let's look what you have on silver. But yeah, but just wanted to finish this this like range, and what we did there is tapped into the zone, and on 1 hour, so this is a tap into a daily zone, we had this shift. So I didn't backtest it, just wanted to see what happened. Had this possibility for entry, this from inside structure, something, reaccumulation, a range, a tap into a zone, so entry from here, and basically then it moved to really nice targets. Yeah, and then moved back. So I wonder if we enter for instance from here and protect, so we have 4 and 5, yeah, like this, and of course 4s and 5s from there, and basically during this like nothing on 1 hour. So yeah, this time you should be already on your lower time frames and see what happens on lower time frames. Yeah, you see, you needed to go on lower time frames here, and maybe you would find some entries there. Okay, so this zone is like quite okay. We are pretty far down in the impulse, and everything here is unmitigated, so yeah, maybe it can make sense to use it. So again, at this point, I don't know what will happen, but it seems like the structural overextension is definitely there. So be careful with the zone, and the impulse itself is so-so. But the silver, so again, never traded silver, never tested it. However, it basically like gold. They are really similar in price action. So even this. So the main thing for them is finding a direction and then just taking almost everything in that direction. So if you are correct about the direction, then it can play out from there. But this one is looking like it's failing and just going for deeper mitigations there. So no, technically it should be your entry here already at this candle, you see. So if you were short in this zone, yeah, it was looking like it's failing, but it's not. So if you are looking to take it, then this should be a natural already. Same way here. Yes, it's looking like it's just breaking, but if you are looking for this zone, then basically this is already a tap, and this candle went below. So it could be an entry already from here. Yes, again, it's not optimal place, not optimal range. It's just inside structure, but yeah. Yeah, so you see it's just a stop. It's so eventually it moves up into deeper zones. Again, if so I'm not focusing too much on the zone, but if this is your zone and if this is a tap, you already at this place should not look and be at daily, because the daily can just do one candle like this and that's all, so you will miss all the move. Also make sure you understand structurally that you have this break. Oh, you see, sorry, so this like your daily zone. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Oh yeah, this inside structure break, but that's fine, especially on higher time frame, that's fine. So if this is a tap, this should be already your entry if you consider this zone. So again, not sure why you didn't enter here or here. So if this was your zone, okay, but that's fine. If you are looking like for 1-2 breaks and just looking for the price to go even lower, that's completely fine. Yeah, so I just clicked a little back here and just wanted to explain this move to you. So why it happened is just so it tapped. So first of all, after these taps, you could already have some entries even from 4 hours here. But now at this stage, of course, we are expecting this. Even if we want to go lower, yes, this is a first scenario and this is second one. And then you go and confirm on your lower time frames. So these are moments I discussed in my backtesting when I was showing you alternative ways. So with these shifts, so what you are basically saying, like, first of all, that's okay to say, okay, I have these two shifts and my main bias now is to this side. But don't forget for your next trades to check higher time frames and to see the relation between the time frames, how I showed in my backtesting. Remember this, I took into consideration weekly, took into consideration how the daily moved, and what was confirming where. But if you consider this, and this, if this is your tab, so you already should be on lower time frames, already should be looking for some trades there, because you see what happens now. You have this candle and now you're pretty basically near the target. I like this zone, I like this move, so let's see what happens. So really not sure why you choose this zone. So this is your main zone, this is just inside structure zone, which is basically meant to be liquidated. It can work out as an inside structure zone, but don't know why you choose it. Let me check once again. Yes, yeah, so it could be a zone like an inside structure zone, but this is your structural one and it makes sense to use it. So probably this one should be a loser. So if you have a tap and then here should be your entry and this should be a loser, I think. So this one, like this structure, like this entry. Nice, almost to the target. Yeah, it will happen. We have this data point, it's fine. Structural time frame is okay as well. For this one, daily is okay. This zone is okay. Entry is from here. Basically, that's fine too. It would be nice if you could spread this a bit more, so the moves are clear. But it seems like you have this unmitigated zone, this entry, and it stops you out just a little bit. Yes, that happens. Maybe there was a re-entry possibility here, and I don't know, it seems like it would be a break even. So here you have this move, some zones there from higher time frames. But this is the same. This 4 hours, yeah, something like this, maybe some zones. And then this is daily, moving to the downside or in a reaccumulation, but right now more to the downside. And this is an entry from the zone, so looking quite nice. So this should be a point for 0.5. This should be a point for break even, and then a clear winner. Well done. Yes, this is a nice break even. I wonder if it went to the target eventually. So no data point here. Oh, second try. Okay, so this is like really nice. This is really nice. Good zone, good entry, well done. Oh, 12 hour, nice. Okay, so like everything is moving up now, and you found something here like this. So basically this inside structure shifts, but that's fine. That's fine. For high time frames especially, you will need to use the build-ups of inside structure. That's fine. And really nice trade, like really easy and nice trade. Okay, so it was much longer than I expected, but I included my own backtesting and my own comments on the same periods of time, and I hope it was useful to see.